West Asia is renowned as a land of mountain ranges and deserts, possessing more than half of the world's oil and gas reserves. This very fact has given rise to wealthy and prosperous nations such as Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. But at the same time, West Asia is also a region rife with political instability, poverty, and hardship, and Yemen is a prime example of this. Earth countries. Wealthy and prosperous nations built on oil resources, such as Qatar or the United Arab Emirates. But at the same time, West Asia is also a land rife with political instability, poverty, and hardship, and Yemen is a prime example of this. Yemen, or officially the Republic of Yemen, is a country in the West Asia region. This name symbolically represents blessings and good fortune. However, the nation's current reality appears to be entirely contrary to that positive meaning. However, it remains a country with many fascinating aspects and unique natural landscapes. Remember to watch the video until the end to get a more comprehensive view of Yemen's country and its people. Yemen is a nation possessing a position of immense strategic importance. The Republic of Yemen is located in the southernmost part of the Arabian Peninsula, with a total land area of 527,968 square kilometers. As of 2021, the country's population reached 31,576,000 people. The northern part of this country borders the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the east borders the Sultanate of Oman, and the west is the Red Sea. To the south, it borders Bin Aden Province and the Arabian Sea, which is part of the Indian Ocean. With such a strategic position, Yemen lies along a vital maritime route connecting three major regions: Asia, Africa, and Europe. Through this channel, Yemen also controls access to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the gateway connecting the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean. This is one of the world's busiest and most bustling commercial waterways, second only to the Straits of Malacca and the Strait of Hormuz. Particularly since the Suez Canal officially commenced operations, its role has become more crucial than ever. Every day, millions of barrels of oil are transported through this strait to the Mediterranean Sea. This is also why Yemen has long been a primary focus for past empires and current global powers like the United States, Russia, and China. The holy city of Mecca in Islam. The majority of Yemen's residents are of Arab origin or trace their roots to the Arabian Peninsula and surrounding regions. The country's minority groups include the descendants of the Somali people living along the coast and the Akab community scattered throughout the northern region. Additionally, a small number of participants also came from countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Therefore, like many other Arab nations, modern Standard Arabic is the official language of the UAE, and Islam is recognized as the state religion of the country. Among them, the Sunni Muslim sect constitutes the majority with approximately 65% of the population, primarily distributed in the southern and southeastern regions. The remaining approximately 35% of the population follow the Shia branch of Islam, residing primarily in the northern and northwestern regions of the country. Palaces. Notable examples include the Darhaja Palace, the Al-Bakriya Mosque, and the Sana Grand Cathedral. The local people are deeply devoted to the state religion and offer virtually no resistance to the strict customs and regulations of Islam. Islam is also an official subject in public schools, while the government does not permit any other form of religious propaganda anywhere in the country. Simultaneously, forcing those who have converted to Islam to renounce their faith is also strictly prohibited. Yemen is a young nation, yet it possesses a history that stretches back thousands of years. According to archaeologists, the area of Yemen has been inhabited since the 12th century BC. From approximately 1200 BC until 525 AD, Yemen became extremely prosperous through the production and trade of agarwood. Just like tree resin, which was extracted and controlled by the Sabaean, Minoan, and Himyarite empires. By around the year 630, Islam began to form and rapidly spread throughout the Middle East and North Africa, with many customs and cultural features still preserved intact to this day. At the beginning of the 15th century, thanks to the development of coffee plantations and its possession of a strategic geographical location, this land became a coveted target for empires and contemporary powers. The ongoing conflicts have inflicted severe damage on Yemen. Cities that were once major coffee production hubs have now dwindled to the size of small villages. By the 1800s, Egypt was caught in the power struggle between the Ottoman and British empires. This led to the division of the Eastern Roman Empire into two parts, with the northern portion falling under Ottoman control. The southern half was under British rule. However, after World War I, the Ottoman Empire collapsed and North Yemen gained independence in 1918. Simultaneously, the Yemen Arab Republic was also established in 1962. Meanwhile, the man named Yemen's nationality remained under the protection of the British Empire. It was not until 1967, when the struggle led by the National Liberation Front achieved victory. The South was finally declared independent and began building its own socialist system. The People's Democratic Republic of Yemen was chosen as the official name. With both regions now completely liberated, many people expect that North and South Yemen will soon be reunified into a single nation. However, subsequent conflicts and disputes led to the outbreak of a border war in 1972, and made the merger impossible for 2 decades. However, by 1990, the discovery of oil and gas in both the North and the South provided the impetus for these two countries to reunify. Because we do not want to harm this important source of rare earth elements. Following the landmark meeting in Aden on May 22, 1990, the two governments reached a comprehensive agreement regarding the joint management of Yemen and the proclamation establishing the Republic of Yemen. At that time, the leader of North Yemen, Ali Saleh, became the country's president. Noi Chi in Yemen. This merger is expected to be a pivotal turning point, enabling Yemen to rebuild and thrive in its home market. But no, the tension between the two regions continued to escalate without cease. By May 4, 1994, the civil war between the forces supporting the northern-based federal government and the pro-secessionist forces in the south rose up. However, this civil war lasted a mere 2 months and 3 days as the armed forces in the south were swiftly defeated. By 2011, the Yemen Revolution had continued the wave of pro-democracy support commonly known as the Arab Spring. A ravenous hunger for resources began to spread across the young land. The rebels are predominantly Houthi people. This is a group of Muslims who adhere to the Shia branch of Islam, a minority community in Yemen. They are striving against the government of President Ali Saleh, who represents the Sunni Muslims, to fight for just and equal rights. The conflict is escalating with increasing involvement from multiple nations, transforming this civil war into a proxy war. Among these, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates all support the government of President Abd Rabbu Mansur Hadi. Since 2012, he has been the one who replaced Ali Saleh. Meanwhile, Iran has engaged in supporting the Houthi rebel forces. The war, which has lasted more than a decade with its intricate schemes and deep-seated envy and hatred, shows no sign of ending. The two sides recently reached an unmediated ceasefire agreement, signed on October 2, 2022. This conflict has also plunged Myanmar into violence and poverty, leading to the deaths of tens of thousands of people. Approximately 3.3 million people have been forced to leave their homes, and more than 24 million others are in dire need of emergency assistance. Former President Saleh was also killed by Houthi rebels on December 4, 2017, while attempting to flee with his family. Since then, Myanmar has become one of the least developed countries in the world, with a nominal gross domestic product, GDP, of just $20.02 billion in 2021. And the average per capita income reached only $697 US. According to the forecast by the United Nations Deputy Secretary General, if the civil war in this country continues, the casualty figure could reach 500,000 people. Among them, over 300,000 people will die from poverty, disease, and lack of access to healthcare services. Approximately 25% of children are at risk of malnutrition, and nearly 40% of children may not be able to attend school. Administratively, due to the ongoing civil war, Yemen has not yet established a stable government. However, as of 2013, Yemen was divided into 22 province-level administrative units, with the capital Sana'a being a special first-level administrative unit. Located at an altitude of 2,300 meters above sea level, Sana'a is one of the highest capital cities in the world. and is the most densely populated area in the country with a population of approximately 2,545,000 people, according to 2017 statistics. This is also one of the ancient cities honored by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 1986. Sana'a is renowned as a massive open-air museum, home to magnificent mosques. These magnificent palaces and 6,000 houses were all built before the 11th century. They are enclosed by ancient citadel walls, stretching along long streets and narrow alleys. Despite enduring the ravages of war and turmoil, Sana'a has stood tall and endured for centuries. However, today, alongside the devastation of the civil war, Sana'a is also facing a severe water crisis. The groundwater in this city is being extracted at a rate 3 times faster than its natural replenishment. If this situation continues, Sana'a may deplete its groundwater by 2030. At the same time, this was also the world's first capital to find itself in such circumstances. Despite economic hardship, a life of deprivation, and people being displaced by the civil war. However, Yemen merchants continue to preserve and breathe new life into the city's markets. With vibrant colors, lively sounds, the distinctive aroma of spices, coffee, and exotic teas, along with unique jewelry and the land's famous traditional cuisine. They have always held on to the hope that one day, peace and stability will return to Yemen, to show off to the rest of the world the wonders their country possesses. Although constitutionally recognized as the capital, in practice, Sana'a has been under Houthi control since the civil war. In 2015, President Hadi left the government headquarters for the city of Aden and declared this place the temporary capital of the nation. This city was once the capital of the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen, meaning South Vietnam, until the country was unified in 1975. And today, this place is known as the nation's economic capital. Simultaneously, this place is also home to approximately 800,000 residents. Here, there are beautiful beaches with long stretches of fine white sand, along with pristine coastlines that rhythmically curve and wind along the natural shore. Alongside the nation's key factories and industrial zones, especially the Aden oil refinery. Regarding topographic features, when the Civil War ended and a new political era began, just 5 minutes of experience, and you'll discover a completely novel Yemen. Here, we can see not only violence and war, and this country deserves to be known for so much more, with landscapes that are both unique and marvelously captivating. Looking at the map, one can see that Yemen's terrain is quite diverse and can be divided into 4 distinct areas. The territory includes both the coastal plains and the western mountainous region, the eastern highlands and the northern desert region, in which the coastal plains feature a hot, humid climate with little rainfall, with an average annual rainfall ranging only from 50 to 100 millimeters. However, this is considered a key agricultural region of the country, especially the Tihama coastal plain. This area stretches for 400 kilometers, from the Midi district, which borders the Arab Sayyid region, to the village of Saiki Sahed, located near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Thanks to the fertile soil and abundant groundwater supplied by streams flowing down from the valley, has contributed to making Tihama the agricultural center of the Yemen region. The main crops cultivated here include tea, corn, wheat, sesame, cotton, carrots, and tomatoes. And fruits such as watermelon, mango, and guava are all outstanding. This is also home to several species of predatory birds, like partridges, pheasants, and eagles. Next is the mountainous region located in the west of Yemen, right next to the Tihama coastal plain, and stretching from the farthest northern border region to the southernmost region of the fatherland. This region has a temperate climate and abundant rainfall, with an average annual rainfall ranging from 400 to 1,100 millimeters. Therefore, the mountainous region is actually the most densely populated area in the entire